Hello, all you rabid Lions fans, and welcome to Lions on the Prowl. News, rumors, and debates from the fans' perspective. Here's Jim and Tim.
Hello again, Lions fans, and welcome to Lions on the Prowl. My name's Jim.
And my name is Maniac Tim.
And boy, do we got a show for you today. It took us a while to get to this because both of us work opposite shifts, and it was so late at night after the Green Bay game, we just couldn't do it. But we do have our feedback and our response to the Green Bay fiasco. And this will be our first show this week. We're putting out two this week because Minnesota and Detroit just finished. And Detroit, of course, loses that game too. I think there's a downward spiral here. We have lost 3 games in a row now. But this show, we're going to talk mainly about the Green Bay game.
God, brother.
Brother. This is the typical same old Lions concept that everybody has. And while I don't think this is the same old Lions team, I do think this is the same old Lions as in what happens to this team.
Okay. But you also got to ask as far as, I remember in one of the Robin Hood shows, Robin asked his brother, "What did I do to make you hate me so much?" And I think the Lions, as an organization, needs to ask the NFL, what the heck did we do to make you hate us so much?
The rumor is, let me put it this way. The rumor is that William Clay Ford owns the team. When he owned the team in the first place, they asked him to give up the Thanksgiving game, and he wouldn't do it. They wanted to put a more marketable team in that time slot because it's Thanksgiving Day. All eyes are on it, and he didn't want the Lions there. He wanted some other team. The NFL wants some other team that's more prolific, like their Golden Boy Packers, to be on Thanksgiving, and the Lions won't give it up. And so they screw the Lions over and over and over and over and over again, both through scheduling and through, actual NFL games with the officials. And it's Detroit versus everybody. I'm going to take that opinion.
Yeah. And basically, the NFL is a bunch of bullies to the Lions.
I agree.
I mean, it's a rigged sport as far as they can go ahead and say, hey, we want the Packers to win. What makes this any different from the WWE when you do crap like that? When you go ahead and direct your refs to go ahead and screw a team just because you want another team to win in the spotlight.
What I'm angry at, what I'm upset with, is the fact that the Packer fans react like they've won some Super Bowl or something when they got handed a game. And I'm very, very ticked off at that. Green Bay's an average team at best.
Right.
They're 6-1, but they've beaten basically nobody. They beat Minnesota, who we couldn't beat. Okay, whatever. But they lost to Philadelphia, who we beat.
Mm-hmm.
We had them beat.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We would have stepped on their throat if they would have gave us the calls.
If they would have destroyed us with the calls.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did. They made it impossible for the Lions to win.
I'm not going to say impossible because here's some of the points. Okay, so I've taken a week to look at this, and there's points on one side. Detroit did not do enough to win.
Right.
There was a drop pass by T.J. Hawkinson, 5 field goals, and only 1 touchdown. So, did they not do enough to win? Let me take this to a different angle.
Right.
Let's ask ourselves, did Green Bay do enough to win?
No.
The Lions had 0 turnovers. They had 3. The Packers scored on 2 drives that were initially stopped.
Right.
But referees' calls.
Mm-hmm.
One the Lions did to themselves because they had 12 men on the field during a field goal, which is an idiotic play.
Right.
And Matt Patricia's done that so many times this year, I'm about ready to have a heart attack over that bullshit.
Right, exactly.
Sorry about the language, but there will be language in this. Let me tell you, I know it's 4 minutes in, there will be language in this show.
Mm-hmm.
If you have children that you don't want to hear that or you don't want to hear it yourself, please turn this off because I am going to go off on this, and I think it's necessary. I think it's needed. I think the emphasis is needed, and I usually don't, but this week I'm going to, and I'm fairly sure Tim is going to, so I would ask that everybody that does not want to hear that or they don't want their children to hear that, please turn this off now. Having said that, did the Packers do enough to win.
Not without help.
Not without help.
Not by themselves.
They had 2 drives that were stalled by Detroit's defense.
Mm-hmm.
2. They both turned into touchdowns.
Right.
One was a hands to the face.
Yep.
And then they had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because Detroit had stopped them and they sacked Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
But because of the hands to the face call, they got a new set of downs.
Right.
And they eventually scored a touchdown on that drive.
Right. And a lot of that hands to the face calls was acting by
the left tackle,
yes.
Bakhtiari.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he lobbied for that call with the referees to watch that call in the beginning of the game. So who's the crybabies again?
And who's the suckers? The refs.
The
refs. They actually believed a line of BS bullshit that the Packers handed them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even after the first call, hands to the face was proving that it was idiot call, they did it again. What the heck?
Exactly. And then the second time, the actual the left tackle Bakhtiari on the Pack-Tards, they actually did the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually going to do the penalty, and we were not.
Right. So, and I have heard, one of the reasons the officials caused so many penalties on that game was because, they're looking for more penalties because there's been a lot of missed calls. Well, then why are you looking at and concentrating on one team instead of both, instead of doing the job? And what is the NFL, and when are they really going to get some balls and step up and do something and make things right to these teams?
To us. I don't care about these teams.
But
let me make this very clear to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit about any of the other teams that, I'm going to admit, I'm a little partial to the Bears, because, I don't know, there's just certain things that, I've got a lot of friends and family that are Bears fans.
Right.
And I'm a Lions fan, and my dad's a Lions fan. A lot of our family's Lions fans, but there are a few friends of mine and good people that are Bears fans. So putting that out there, I'm not technically a Bears fan, but I don't mind them. But I guess, I don't mind them. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't give a shit about everybody else in the league right now. I don't. The Lions are the ones that get hosed every single year. And I want to go back to, because I'm building a case.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a courtroom thing. I'm building a case.
Preponderance of evidence.
Yes. Let's go back to, did Green Bay do enough to win this game if the refs didn't help them? And my contention is no, they did not. How do I come to that conclusion? Lions are up. Was it 13-0? Or was it 10-0? At least 10-0. Okay, in this game. I think it was 13-0 at one time. The offense is killing it.
Mm-hmm.
They get a touchdown and a field goal. They get another field goal. Green Bay is doing nothing.
Right.
Nothing on offense. And then the referees change the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions also changed their own momentum.
Right.
Let's not get that twisted. This team is far from complete. This team is far from competing for an NFC North championship. Let's just put that out there.
Right.
But in this particular game, in this particular set of circumstances, did Green Bay do enough to win?
No.
Without help. Okay, so we've got the situation where both of their touchdowns, their drives were stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what if 2 of those drives that are, that were field goals for us, we got a first down, and we got the more set of downs, and we got the touchdowns? It's a what if. You can't play what if games, but you can in this situation because you're telling me that the Lions didn't do enough to win. And on the other hand, you're not giving me the credit or giving the Lions the credit for coming out and just walloping this team right away.
Right.
And the only thing that kept changing the momentum of the game was the officiating.
Mm-hmm.
Missed pass interference calls. Hands to the phantom, hands to the face calls. There is evidence on the first hands to the face for 1 point, I think it's 0.1 second that his hand moved up to the face.
Right.
But hands to the face has to be a consistent hands to the face, not a slip.
Right.
So every Green Bay fan that has put that picture out there, good job. Because you know what? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I know Packers fans, and I know how dumb they are. I really do. Well, the Lions are terrible. They're trash. Yeah, if we're trash, we beat you. What? We're 6-2 in the last 8 games, and those 2 was the Hail Mary bullshit.
Right.
Where he went and brushed his frickin' helmet, and they call that
face mask.
Face mask. And then this fiasco.
Well, it
on Monday night.
It was like at least 5 missed calls, missed.
Okay, here's the other thing. So we're reviewing this bullshit game. Okay, so my contention is the Packers didn't do enough to win.
Right.
Not the
without
Lions.
help.
Without help.
Without major help. It wasn't just a Band-Aid this time.
Do you win a game, Lions fans, when you have -3 in the turnover ratio?
Nope.
No. We outgained them until the second half. And what happened in the second half? In the beginning of in the second quarter, the calls started happening, the non-calls started happening. Did Aaron Rodgers do enough to win?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Why do I say that? Why do I say that? I say that because his drives were stopped.
Yes.
They had to kick a field goal, but we had 12 men on the field. The Packers had 13 men on the field. No call.
Right. And
Pass interference.
If you count the refs, there was 14 men on the field.
But,
no, I mean that's just
but we're trying to take it factual.
Right.
I'm trying to go factual with this because I'm totally pissed off. I'm completely pissed off. I am. I'm livid at the fact that we go into Green Bay, which is a hard place to play in the first place. We've beaten this team 4 times in a row, yet we're trash.
Right. And one of the things that you have been hearing, as far as in the media, the NFL, the Packers are so good. The Packers are so good. And I think one of the reasons the refs in the NFL went this way is they're trying to prove that the Packers are better than what they actually are. They're trying to make them better.
Okay, they're 6-1 because they won today against this really bad Raiders team. The Packers have beaten the Bears when the Bears' offense looked like absolute crap. They beat Minnesota when Minnesota's offense looked like garbage.
Right.
They've beaten who else? The Raiders, who really suck. And I can't remember who else. But nobody good.
Dallas.
Nobody. Dallas. Now that was an outlier because I don't know. Maybe they are that good. But I'm going to tell you this: when I watched them play, we had their number.
Right.
We were going to blow them bastards out.
If they would have beat us fair and square.
Yeah, it'd have been okay.
Right.
They have every right to say what they say. But they didn't.
Yep.
They didn't. Second hands to the face call. There's 1:40 left on the clock.
Right.
They give them a first down. And it seals the game.
Yep.
Then the NFL comes out and apologizes to us. Says, you know what? That second hands to the face call, darn it, we blew it. Okay. So you're admitting that you handed them the game. Because they would have had to kick the field goal from that point at that time. It gives us at least 1:30 seconds left.
Right.
To go down the field and get a winning field goal. How many times has Matthew Stafford done that? We just needed a field goal because they only had us by 1 point. All we needed was a field goal and 1:30 seconds to do it. We scored 2 touchdowns in Tennessee in 19 seconds. You don't think we could get down the field to score a freaking field goal?
Right.
Again, we don't want your damn apologies, NFL.
We want you to fix the problems.
No, I don't even want them to fix I don't even want them to fix the problems going forward. I want retribution for this game. I want you to replay the game from that foul. If you admit that you did this wrong, you admit that they should have had to kick the field goal right then, and then Detroit would have either got the ball back or, God forbid, they miss. Right. Who knows what would have happened? Mason Crosby missed 5 field goals last year in one game.
Oh, yeah.
He could have missed from that distance.
Right.
He might not have, but we would have still had a chance to answer.
Right.
But because of the referees, the officials, Detroit was not given a chance to answer, and this isn't the first time this has happened.
Right. Over and over and over.
Seattle,
again.
batted ball. Oh, we're sorry. We got that call wrong. Well, guess what? If you had done the right thing, the Lions would have had the ball on the 1-yard line.
Right.
With the potential of going ahead and winning that game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know if they would have won the game.
Right.
The 10-second runoff thing. Well, yeah, it's a rule. It really did look like Golden Tate got the ball over the line.
Mm-hmm.
I believe to this day he got a touchdown on that play. And now you not only take away the touchdown, you take away the opportunity to create another touchdown.
Right.
Not only did you take those points off the board, you took away any means to secure a win.
Yep.
How about face guarding? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh, God.
Face guarding is totally, I don't understand this call.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is in front of our receiver. He has his hands on our guy's jersey. He's not looking for the ball at all.
Right.
And that's legal. But when we do it, it's not legal.
Right.
How is that? How is it pass interference? And we're going to get to the Minnesota game. But in the Minnesota game, how is it pass interference in the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
And not pass interference when they clearly grab our guy
Right.
and throw him down to the field.
Yeah.
Or when McKissick gets hit before the ball gets there.
Right.
Now, that wouldn't have been a first down anyway because our team is garbage, and I do believe that. Do I believe that this team is a contender? No, I don't. No, I don't. And I'm going to rant on the Lions, too, because there's plenty of blame to go around for these 3 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City game we should have won.
Right.
But we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Bay game we should have won, and we didn't.
Right.
But that one, I believe, was a total ref job.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Minnesota, your defense can't stop anybody. Give it up.
Right.
Okay, to go back to the Green Bay fiasco. This has been building for years. This is not like it's one game and we're all pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. This is one game that has been a series of games against Green Bay that you always get calls for them.
Right.
And unless you just totally blow them out, if they're hanging around at all, the refs will make every effort for them to win.
Yeah.
They will. It's the fact of life, and it shouldn't be.
No.
It shouldn't be that I have to go before I make my yearly predictions and count 1 to 2 games that the refs are going to fuck us on.
Right.
I shouldn't have to do that, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus was here with us before, not to call anybody out. It's not like that. I said in the beginning of this year, you always have to take into consideration a ref screw job on 2 to 3 games a year, or 1 to 2 games a year, I think I said at the time. He's like, well, you can't do that because it's not happened yet and it might not happen. It always happens.
Over the years, you see it. And it happens 1 to 2 games a year, that's for sure. I mean, we have seen, there was the Houston game.
This is a Thanksgiving Day game.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Schwartz is the coach. The guy is clearly down.
Right.
Gets back up, runs for a touchdown. Everybody's confused.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly, there's no excuse for this.
Right.
Clearly down.
Mm-hmm.
Schwartz goes to call Schwartz at this point is so pissed off at the refereeing that he has a vein almost exploding in his head. I think that's why Jim Schwartz is not a coach right now, a head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because of the ref screw jobs that kept happening against this team.
Yeah.
New Orleans in the playoffs. Clearly putting the ball more forward than they actually got to give them a first down.
Right.
Just different little things over and over and over. And New Orleans is going to cry, and Green Bay cries, and everybody cries, and they change the rules for them.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit gets screwed and nothing happens because that's the way the NFL wants it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry if I sound like a crying, whining, whatever, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm just telling you right now, I'm so over everyone saying, well, the Lions just didn't play well enough to win. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Take away 7 points and give them 3 twice.
Mm-hmm.
And who wins this game?
Right.
The Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lions win. But no.
I'm pissed off that people even consider what I'm saying whining. I'm pissed off that they even consider the fact that the Lions fans don't have a gripe.
Yeah. And if you're a player, oh my God, and you speak the truth, you can get fined.
Yep.
So
$12,000 fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was to, was it Walker?
Yeah, Tracy. Yeah.
Was it Tracy Walker? So it was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that the officiating was awful, which was the truth.
Right.
That was the truth. It was awful. And the Lions get fined for that. Sit in your corner and take it. Well, we are not taking it.
Where's the damn gag order? I mean, it's basically a gag order. You can't speak badly against your
the horrible
employer.
refs.
Yeah.
The ones that are one-sided
Right.
every damn... It seems like it.
Yeah.
Every season, there's something.
Now, I know this is a business, all right? The NFL is a business.
Yep.
But this is also before it's a business, it's supposed to be a competition.
A sport.
Yeah.
This is not WWE.
Right.
You don't fix games to figure out to have who you want to win. You don't predetermine victory. But I think in the NFL, that does happen.
Yeah. Or they at least predetermine losers. The one that they're going to lose.
Lions are always considered losers, but no one ever looks at the fact that 2 to 3 games, 1 to 2 games a year is taken away by an official. Mm-hmm. And if that happens over and over and over again, because the parity in the NFL and the 2-game spread every year, that the Lions could be in contention.
Right.
Instead of 3rd place, 2nd place, 4th place.
I mean, there was one year when that year that they made the playoffs against Dallas and that face guarding.
Face guarding bullshit.
Yeah, but the week before, they played Green Bay.
Yep.
And there was a lot of egregious penalties that time, too, which gave the Lions a wild card berth instead of
the division title.
Right. So it's like, what the hell?
Is there
over and
is it
over
Detroit
and
versus
over.
everybody? Is there really? See, now I hear this from national radio people and all this, that no, there's really no conspiracy. It just happens. Well, how does it happen over and over and over and over again?
Right.
Why do we have to talk about it over and over and over again? If it's not a conspiracy, this is the dumbest luck I've ever seen against one team.
Right.
I've never seen a team have this bad of luck with officiating. I haven't. Really? I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. This is from the fan's perspective. And I'm one of those fans that don't believe that the Lions are getting a fair shake.
And I agree.
You look at their schedule year after year after year, how brutal that damn schedule is year after year after year. The first 4 or 5 games are always murderous for this team because they know if they can get them down early, that the Lions will fold. Because that's who they are, because that's who they were created to be. Mm-hmm. And you can argue with me all day and night, but when you got Kansas City, you got Philadelphia at Philadelphia, San Diego, you had one team in there, Arizona, that we probably should have beat.
Right.
But we didn't. And that's on us.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. That's on us. I'm going to get to the Lions. I'm going to get to why I think this team is not a team that's going to compete for a division championship and a Super Bowl. I'm going to get to those facts.
Right.
Okay. But for now, we're talking about officials. We're talking about officiating and over the years, not just in the Packers game.
Right.
Packers game was a fiasco.
Yeah, it was.
The Packers game was absolutely gift-wrapped, handed to Green Bay like it usually is. Mm-hmm. Most of the games they play, they have the better calls. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not just saying this. There was a tweet that went out from the NFL stat book.
Okay.
That Green Bay has the most penalized yards given to them in the year. Guess who's last?
Lions.
The Lions. Mm-hmm. Now, if there's ever a story told, it's through the numbers.
Right.
I'm trying to speak facts because I'm not going to sound like a weirdo or one of those people that just say Detroit versus everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you the truth. Green Bay is number one in the entire league of getting yards for officials, for calls.
Right.
And the dead last place team, the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute. Just think about that.
Right.
Think about the Green Bay game. Think about games over the years, the Calvin Johnson sitting on his ass in the end zone with the ball is not a catch. And then later, NFL admits, oh, that was a catch. Sorry. Okay, that was a win.
Right.
19 seconds left in that game.
Mm-hmm.
If Detroit doesn't totally botch something, which they are capable of doing,
Right.
they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first game of the year that year. Set the tone for the entire season.
Right.
Just taken away. Horribly taken away.
Right.
That's a gut punch.
Yeah, it is. Yep. And once again, that was on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
So you're going to see, everybody's going to see, okay, the Lions can't get it done.
Yep.
But what you guys need to start asking is, why is the NFL why is the NFL interfering with the Lions winning? Because that's
Absolutely.
what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. And then apologizing
Right.
for it. Shove your apologies up your ass.
Right.
I'm
Because
not kidding.
yeah.
It doesn't do us any good. We should have been the division leaders going into this game with Minnesota. You don't think there's a reeling effect after a loss like that?
Right.
I think there is. And I think you saw it in the Minnesota game. That defense, it couldn't stop anybody.
No.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Defense was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Offense was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Defense was terrible. How do we sit here every year as Lions fans and just sit on our hands and say, they're just not good enough? Maybe that's not the truth. Maybe it is. Let us play and find out.
Right.
Stop holding us back. NFL, stop holding us back.
Yeah.
Let us play. Let us play.
Yes.
We've beaten that stupid Pack-Tards team 4 times in a row. You don't think we could do it again? I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're that good, personally. They're 6-1 because they're awesome, aren't they? Well, they're amazing. Yeah, when they get help.
Mm-hmm.
When they get the most yards in the league off of penalties, of course.
Right.
What do you think the Lions would do with that amount of
Gosh.
yardage?
Shoot,
We might be undefeated.
Yeah. Yep.
We may have lost one,
Mm-hmm.
but it wouldn't have been to the Pack-Tards.
Right.
No, I hate Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely hate them, and this is why. Remember when I said this in the last show that we were going to win this game?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're better than that team.
Yep. And
we are still better than that team.
The team that won was not the better team.
I agree.
I mean,
100%. I agree.
by far, they were not the better team.
Nope.
Because you guys needed your little diaper changing referees to come and change your diapers and give you guys more shots at the.
Now, what do we? And this is the
touchdowns.
thing, and this is what we can't figure out. How do we change this going forward, fan base? It's up to us. It's up to us. I seen the referee outfits in the crowd. Didn't
Mhm.
help us any. What you need to do is you need to start boycotting the games. I
Mhm.
know we're Lions fans. I get it. I get it. I understand. I understand that we love our team, and I understand that we want to support them. The problem is we can't just sit and take it. We have to do something about it. Now, whether it's to start a petition to talk to the league office, to start something with Roger Goodell, I don't know what this is, but we have to rise up as a community of fans, one pride, together, and figure something out to go against this shit, because we can't have this anymore.
No.
This cannot keep happening to this team over and over and over again. We used to call it lionized.
Right.
When we would see a coach or a player just look in disbelief at what has happened to this team.
And we're not saying our team is perfect. We're not saying that, but damn it.
Give us a fair chance.
Right.
I'm not saying we're going to win every game. I don't think we're that talented to win every game. But at least don't rob us of games.
Right.
You robbed us already of one game. We should have been 3-2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
We should have been 3-1. And if we win that game with the Pack-Tards,
Right.
going home to face Minnesota, how much different is that?
Right.
How much different is it coming off a win than coming off a loss? The team didn't play well.
No.
This team isn't great, but neither is Green Bay. They are not good.
No, they're not.
I told people this in the beginning of the year. They're 6-1, but they have had help.
Yeah, they have. They have.
They played a terrible frickin' Raiders team, who I don't think is any good.
No.
They beat us by 1 point. Yeah, go. You know what? What's funny about that is the Packers fans go out there and they celebrate this 1 point victory with the referees handing them the game, and they could only beat us by 1 point.
Right. Which is bullshit.
If you're so fucking good, then why didn't you beat us by 50 points?
Right.
Because
and why
you couldn't.
And why did you need the refs' help in the first place?
Because you
guys
can't beat us
right.
in a fair shake.
In your guys' own stadium, you guys couldn't do that.
Yeah, you could beat us by 1 point in
with
your
the
home
refs.
stadium with the refs' help. Without the refs' help, you lose that game.
Yes. So you're not
that
you guys
good.
are your team is a piece of crap.
Yep.
That's how they play.
The sham Packers.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers says, "Oh yeah, things balance out at the end."
They didn't balance out at the end. Are you kidding me?
He says over time which is bullshit. Not when you're the Packers and you get all the fucking calls.
Yep.
I mean, this is bullshit.
They needed Green Bay to win, and they were going to do anything they could to have them win. That team was not better than the Lions.
No.
They were not. They didn't show me anything that they were better than the Lions. They showed me that once you extend their plays and extend their drives and give them holding calls and let them do whatever they want to our guys and not call a damn thing.
Right.
They're a pretty good team when they get a lot of help.
Yep. The refs assured that the Packers were going to win that game.
Yep, totally agree.
And I don't know if it's Vegas. I don't know if it's something that they got to go ahead and Congress needs to investigate or whatever. But there's something is
of the NFL, maybe.
Because where the NFL is not paying for. But I mean, if there is ever going to be justice for the Lions, amongst other teams, somebody outside needs to go ahead and investigate and hold the NFL and the refs accountable for this shit.
Yeah.
And make it a way so that you can make it right to that team and the fans. Because the fans go ahead, they support their team, they go ahead, and then you guys think that you're better than us, better than the fans, and go ahead and fuck us over and take away our chance of being good. I mean, the Lions ain't crap. You guys make them crap. And you guys did that, and you guys will break spirits.
Yep.
And, yeah, it wasn't enough earlier games because it wasn't enough to just do it one time. No, you guys just, in that same game, you did it multiple times.
Yep.
So is this the same with Lions? No, it's not, because it took a hell of a lot more than just your one little bullshit call.
Is it the same old Lions? That's a very interesting question. Yes and no. Same old bullshit. 3 losses in a row. But every game they've been competitive. Every game they've jumped on a team.
Mm-hmm.
They can't hold the lead. I'm going to go into something else.
Right.
Real quick. Not real quick. This could take a while. But to end on the officials for a little while, and we may go back to it. I want someone out there to come up with a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Could be what Tim says. Maybe it's Congress. Maybe it's us getting a petition to the NFL with Roger Goodell. But I can't take an apology any longer. Because an apology doesn't move us up in the standings. An apology doesn't shut the Pack-Tard fucking fans up that are assholes. It doesn't change the fact that there is a loss when there should have been a win.
Yeah,
or at least the opportunity for a win.
Yeah, it doesn't right a wrong.
Exactly.
Apology don't right a wrong. And when you keep on needing to apologize to the same team because you keep on making the mistakes against the same team, then that makes it look like a conspiracy against that team.
I don't think it makes it look like it. I think it proves
right.
it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe.
Because I think there is one, and I've thought it for years. I didn't want to come out on that side of things because I don't want to look crazy or something like that, but I see the schedule every year. I see what they're trying to do to this team. I see it every year. When they get the bye week, they got the bye week the earliest they could possibly get it, which is terrible for a team. That's the worst week you could get for a bye week. Right. And everybody knows that. Well, I hope everybody knows that. If anybody knows football, knows that. Okay. You give us a shitty schedule year after year after year. You give us bullshit refereeing year after year after year. And then you expect us to overcome that and be a decent or a good team.
Right.
When they have deficiencies of their own. You know, and we want to go into the Lions' deficiencies. This is going to be a long show. I don't know if we're going to make it 1 or 2 shows. Haven't decided that yet. But this is a venting show. So if this is not our normal format, so if you're just catching us this week, this is probably not the best week to catch us.
Right.
But I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done with it. I've had it. I cannot take it anymore. I'm a Lions fan for, 40-plus years? Tim is too. We can't take this anymore. It's bullshit of the highest order. And what you have Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, and all these greats, Matthew Stafford I'm going to throw in there as a great, and I don't care what people say about him, fastest to 40,000 yards today. There's no one close. Dude, no one close. This man has put everything on the line for us, his body, his health, everything.
Right.
And I'm done with the bullshit of that, the Lions just can't get it done. Lions did get it done, and you took it away from them. That's the bottom line.
And it's been in, also playoff games as well.
The Atlanta game, where we could have made the playoffs that year. We beat Atlanta, we make the playoffs. 10-second runoff rule.
Right.
You're fucked.
Yes.
Now, is it a bad call? Yeah, because I think he did score the touchdown. But it's a bad rule. Right. How do you not give a team another chance? This is the NFL. Yeah. Aren't we trying to get it right? No, we're not. Not when it comes to the Lions, we're not.
And where is the so-called integrity of the game?
There isn't.
I mean, you guys say, you added replay because you want to get things right, the integrity. There's no integrity in what we have seen. No. And you guys haven't done anything to really fix it.
Nope.
You guys,
you look at it again and again and again, and you still screw the Lions over and over again. If it's a conspiracy, who needs replay? Because you're going to do it any way you want to do it anyway.
When it's the same people that's judging, the play, they got to go ahead and admit that they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's not enough. See, and there's always not enough evidence to overturn. There's not enough this to overturn.
Except
but
when it's against the line.
Yeah,
there's enough evidence.
There's enough evidence to overturn. And I've seen this over and over again. I don't want to bitch and complain the whole time. We had to react to this Packers thing because I think it's an injustice, and I think it's not the only injustice this team has endured.
Right.
I think that's an injustice that we see every season, at least, I would say at least 2 to 3 games a year.
When it matters.
When it matters.
When it matters. It could be when the Lions are starting to really rock and roll. Yeah. It could be. I mean, we've seen them in playoffs. We have seen them in regular seasons. We have seen them, mid-season where they'll just go ahead and steal the game away.
Here's another thing. How many times do you have to stop a team before they're actually stopped?
Right.
How does that take the momentum away from one team and like a gut punch, like I had said before? How many times can you overcome that and then bear down and not bear down because that's the stupid Bears thing.
Right.
And we've seen Bears that are down all year long. Anyway, whatever. But how many times can you just overcome that? When you make a good play, it doesn't matter because the officials will take it away. How many times in special teams, whenever they kick the ball off and we have a punt return on, that we get a penalty on every single punt return? Is that possible? Is it possible to get a penalty on just about every single punt return? But for years I've seen that with the Lions. For years. And you don't think it matters, but it's a 10, 5, 15-yard penalty, and you start further back. It's field position. Every time we start to do something good. And if we have a great running play, guess what happens? Holding.
Right.
And then when Minnesota, or especially Green Bay, if they have a good running play, they have our guy grabbed, thrown on the ground, around the neck. You've seen Damon Harrison on that play with Kansas City.
Right. Yeah.
They had their hand around his neck, throwing him down, and that's not holding.
Right. But yeah, little ticky-tack crap on the lines is.
Yep. You see Stafford get pummeled game after game after game. They
Right.
finally call in the Minnesota game.
Mm-hmm.
They finally call a couple of the, what is it called? Roughing the passer.
Right. But
But
when
we
it
get
didn't
roughing
really
the
count.
passer all the damn time.
Yeah. And then like one time they caught it when it was offsetting, so it didn't count.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and then there was another time they called holding or something where it didn't count because we wanted the loss of the down.
Yeah.
we wanted to.
We got them
Right,
behind,
so
we declined the penalty.
Right. Of course,
I think it's wow. I do believe that it's just BS.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe there is something against the Lions. I've stated one of my things that I think it might be. Fans, what do you think? We want to know what you think. Let us know on our Facebook page, Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all those mediums if you want to subscribe, which would be a good idea since, if you want to hear us piss and moan, then, you might like that. We're with you, man. I mean, I hate to say this, but we're talking from the fans' perspective. We don't give a shit. We're not going to get paid for this anyway. So who gives a shit? We'll say whatever the hell we want.
Yes.
And I don't like the calls. I don't like the BS. We got about 28 seconds, 3 minutes, 28 seconds, Tim. Just to let you know how much time we have left in the show. Our shows are 45 minutes long, just so you guys know. We try to keep it within that, so that's why we keep saying, that we're running out of time, whatever. But,
right.
Final thoughts, Green Bay.
Until the refs go ahead or the NFL stands up and make things right, we're never going to be up there. No. I mean, Green Bay didn't deserve this win.
Green Bay is the darlings of the NFL.
Right.
For some reason, and I don't know why, they wipe Aaron Rodgers' ass more than I've ever seen any quarterback be coddled.
Right.
If you could say, that's the term I want to use. That quarterback's coddled. Matthew Stafford gets crushed.
Right.
If Aaron Rodgers gets a finger on him, oh no, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
And he's bitching right away because he's a crybaby asshole. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm going to say what I want. I hate the guy. I don't like him at all. I think he's a crybaby. I think
arrogant.
I think he's arrogant. I think the fans of Green Bay is arrogant, pompous, and with no reason whatsoever because your team sucks.
Right.
Your team didn't do enough to beat us. You needed your officials in your pocket. And I'm done. I'm done with this stupid ass pack-tards.
Yep.
I hate that team. And I don't hate them because they win. Because if they just won and they won outright, I wouldn't like them.
Right.
Like the Patriots cheat. That's why people don't like them. Because they cheat.
Right.
This is why I don't like the pack-tards. Because they cheat.
Yes.
Because they are cheated
and they
for.
get away with it. They're
and they
back.
get away with it over and over again. And does that make you a good team? Does that make you proud, Packers fans? Does that make you proud that you beat a team like that? I guess it does because your arrogance is something I've never even seen before. Your false arrogance because your team is a bunch of crap.
Yeah, it is.
It's smoke and mirrors, and that's all it is. And if we ever get a fairly called game, we're going to whoop your ass. We had 4 times in a row.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Whooped the living hell out of you 4 games in a row. Would have whooped the hell out of you in this game, too.
Yeah.
But you had your officials there. Good job, Green Bay. Good job, you assholes.
The NFL couldn't let us go ahead and play a stand-up game on national TV on Monday Night Football because, that would have been too embarrassing because they've been promoting the Packers all year long. And
promoting Aaron Rodgers and State Farm. I think State Farm paid for the officials.
Something, that's for sure because
you're really happy with your other agent there. And maybe that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it because we should have been atop the division and they should have been beaten. And because of the officials, they weren't.
Right.
That wraps up our show. I'm sorry that it was a pitch and moan session, but I'm sorry I had to do it.
Yeah.
Tim, take us home.
Okay, go Lions. Lions on their pride. One Prowl. I fucked it up big time.
Do it again.
Okay. Go Lions. One pride. Lions on the prowl.
All right, guys. Have a good week. Well, actually, we're going to go right into another show, which we'll release today.